Hailing frequencies are open.
And hailing frequencies are indeed open. Welcome everyone to... Hang on. It's Star Trek Atlantis.
Yes.
What's going on here? Why are we all looking a bit different? Why have we got different names? All will be revealed. No Matt with us tonight, unfortunately. He will be missed, but he will be hopefully back with us next time. But we do have, of course, in a red shirt, Commander Helen Alward. Amy.
That's me. Yeah, hello.
First officer tonight. A bit different. We have our chief engineer. Will he have a Scottish accent? Lieutenant Rick Sweeper is Chris.
Hello, everyone. No, if I could reliably do a Scottish accent, then yes, he would. But it would. My Scottish accent tends to take a detour through Ireland and Wales and then back up through through Scotland. So,
well, with James Doohan and Simon Pegg setting a trend there, you would be in very good company because their Scottish accents are shit. It's got to be said. And, of course, sporting his best Caitian makeup, we have Lieutenant Kaveen Ed.
Oh, good evening.
Awesome. How's the whiskers doing?
Oh, lovely. I'm going to find a lovely scratching post around the back there as well. I hope the engineer's got the litter trail just how I like it.
yeah.
Well, no spraying your scent everywhere. So, yeah, a little bit different tonight because we are taking a slight detour away for a few episodes from our standard Livingstone. We are going to be bringing it in line with everything. So we are actually going to start the game tonight on the Livingstone very, very briefly, just to sort of do that nice little segue thing. But let's start on. Well, how is everyone?
It's.
I'm blue.
Doing good.
I'm prepared to die straight away.
Yeah, red shirts. Well, we've got two red shirts and a blue shirt. Interesting. We do like red shirts. They make good phaser fodder.
Yeah, I do have a red one of these, but sadly it's in the wash. Otherwise, I would have worn it today.
With your pinks, presumably.
Always, yeah.
It was with your whites, but
it was, yeah, originally.
Amy, you're the most senior officer here tonight.
Not by choice.
How does it feel?
Horrible, isn't it?
I haven't. I'm just not thinking about it. We'll just see what happens. We'll see what Helen does. Maybe she'll be indecisive. Maybe she won't. We'll see.
And Ed taking a step back away from the captain's chair, all the way down to lieutenant.
Yes, exactly. Oh, it's like a weekend off. Marvelous. I've even switched out. Look, I've got my spare blue dice and everything.
Yay!
And Chris, now as chief engineer, technobabble is obviously a key part of the job. What's your technobabble like? I'll prompt you and give you the opportunity to dazzle us with a bit of engineering technobabble.
I believe we need to intensify the secondary Verteron field regulator in order to take out these Romulans, Captain.
Very impressive indeed. I like that. Well, on that note, shall we crack on with an adventure?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Excellent. So we left off the last time Livingstone obviously getting its Section 31 orders from Director Bashir to go and investigate the Shackleton Expanse. And in fact, he's got you all sat round for a briefing, and he explains that indeed the Shackleton Expanse, which you have all heard of, you're all familiar with, it's fairly famous in Federation history. Director Bashir believes that there may be some technologies that could be acquired in the Shackleton Expanse which might help with any future Borg incursions. So this could be tactical technologies, it could be defensive technologies, and this is really why he wants a Section 31 ship going in to look for these things under the radar. The official Federation Starfleet outward looking thing is that, of course, you are going into do general exploration in the Shackleton Expanse. Yes, general, and that is in fact what you are going to be doing. Obviously, you need to explore to find the technologies that, you know, may be of help. So it's like it's going to strange new worlds, meeting strange new people, and not having sex with them like Kirk did.
Oh, come on now.
That's not part of the mission. Let's put it that way. He does recommend. In fact, that on your journey, it's going to take a little while from Section 31 headquarters to the Shackleton Expanse. He recommends that en route, all of you do some studying of probably what made the Shackleton Expanse so famous in the first case, which was, of course, the incident over 100 years ago now, with the USS Atlantis, a very famous mission which you are all very familiar with, of course. Well, he recommends that maybe you take a look again, but this time with the benefit of the Section 31 records at your disposal, because although it's very famous in Federation history and in Starfleet history, everyone knows about the Atlantis and what happened there. I mean, of course, why wouldn't they?
Everyone.
Yeah, it's second nature. Yeah.
Obviously.
Exactly. But there may be more to the story than initially meets the eye, perhaps. So, indeed, en route you do that. Maybe you're sat in your quarters reading pads with all the information on. Maybe you've gone onto a holodeck and you're playing the role of a cook on board the Atlantis, just to piss off the viewers. Who knows what you're doing there? But indeed, we cast ourselves back into the mists of time, not to the USS Atlantis, but just prior to, indeed, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, the events just prior to the Atlantis going forth boldly into the Shackleton Expanse, to a station on the edge of the Shackleton Expanse, around the Siren Star. This is Station Epsilon 19, a scientific research station that was designed specifically to study the Siren Star and the unusual triolic waves that it gives off. Because the USS Atlantis is expected to make a rendezvous any day now at Epsilon 19, partly to deliver scientific equipment and provisions, but mainly to pick up some key crew members following the Atlantis's very recent refit at Copernicus shipyards. So the captain is en route to the station. These crew members have recently arrived and are awaiting the Atlantis to arrive, some of whom have maybe worked with the captain before, most of whom, whilst handpicked by the captain, have yet to meet him themselves. And as we enter the the mess hall of the station, we see 3 Starfleet officers sat around a table. Who do we see? Amy, first of all.
You see a human. She is. She's in her 40s. I would guess she's getting on a little bit there. And yeah, in a red shirt. Not saying much currently.
In a red shirt, and what is her rank?
Oh, okay. More information. She is a tactical person, officer, commander, first officer. Yeah.
First officer, and perhaps by rank, not necessarily the second most senior person, but maybe at least by position, probably. We have the chief engineer, or soon to be chief engineer of the Atlantis. It's new chief engineer. Not sure why he wasn't there overseeing her refit, but maybe that was because of a previous posting taking his attention. Who do we have as chief engineer?
So sitting at the table, you see a young-ish officer, probably early 30s, swept back brown hair and full beard, not like mine because I can't grow one. But he is currently engaged in excited conversation with the other two. And you just kind of hear the last part of the story he's telling. He says, so there I was. Okay. Steve has gone down. These 2 Klingons rushing at me. I pick up the bat'leth and I fight them off. Just me and them. And then I disappear into the trees and make it off the planet alive. Just me. No one else. Only survivor.
Quite a story. And maybe flicking his tail in rapt attention at such a story, we have the only non-human sat around the table currently. Who else do we have?
We have Acacian in blue, a lieutenant by rank, and his name is Kaveen. He does know these 2 officers who he's sat with, but not maybe quite as well as he knows the captain who they're awaiting. Incidentally, he quite believes the Battler story. He's seen what Rick can do.
So how does Kaveen, first of all, how does Kaveen know the other 2 officers?
From this point, he's been allocated to this, or been appointed to this station. This is his first time, or going to be his first time on the Atlantis, but he has served with the captain before. So he has been enjoying their company, and whilst they've been regaling him with tales of daring do versus Klingons, he's also been telling them about previous missions he's had with our incoming captain, not on the ship we're about to be on, but on the previous vessel.
Interesting. Well, we'll look forward to hearing that. And is there anything that anyone would like to add about their characters or their interactions as you're all sat around the table? I'll take that as a no.
I think you get a definite impression from Lieutenant Sweeper that he is very boisterous, very happy to talk about his own accomplishments, whether or not they may be embellished. That's for him to know and everyone else to find out.
Like a person that believes in their abilities.
Yeah, you definitely feel that Kaveen is quite happy to be around other people. He likes being in a crowd.
Right. That's yeah. Cats famously pack animals, so that makes sense. Yeah. So Helen, how is Helen reacting out of interest to Rick's story? Because Helen is the security and tactical expert here. Is she buying it?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's some exaggeration there. I'm not sure. I'm not one to call someone out. when they're telling an entertaining story.
Interesting. Okay, well, like I say, you're sat here in the mess hall mainly because it's a very functional station. There aren't really any recreational facilities, and indeed you're just really waiting on this evening where you have an invitation to dine with the station commander. Like I say, you've all arrived on this station not too long ago. It's been a long journey. It's certainly, for our two humans who've come from different parts of the Federation, it's taken a good couple of weeks just to get to this station. But for Lieutenant Kaveen, who's come from the homeworld of Kate, it's actually been 3.5 weeks solid journey by freighter just to get here. So, and indeed, your transport to get here was not the most pleasant. It was cramped. It was functional. It was okay, but it wasn't. This feels like a breath of fresh air walking around a station without having to duck every 5 minutes.
Room to scratch. I like that.
Yeah, room to swing a Catian. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And yes, indeed. So you've been invited to dinner with the station commander tonight. Is there anything you'd like to do ahead of that to prepare?
Are we supposed to be formal tonight, or is standard uniform okay?
Well, it's a civilian scientific
okay,
outpost.
so he's not Federation.
So not formal. Your uniform is plenty smart enough, or you could go civilian if you chose.
No.
Rick's going to wear the uniform.
Okay.
Red shirt till I die.
I don't have. Well, I haven't got any other clothes unless I'll achieve the parting down my entire body.
Okay, so heading on down to the hi Captain Quinn. Heading on down to the captain's the commander's. He's got a small private dining area. As it's time. And yes, you're ushered in by a steward, and sat at the table. He's a large guy. He's probably about 60 years old. Eric, he's called Eric Johansson, or Dr. Johansson, if you prefer. He's a scientist first and foremost. He is commander of the station, but it's like I say, it's a civilian station, civilian-run station. He's a very pleasant gentleman. It's welcome all of you. It's so lovely to have company. There's not many of us here on this station, so it's rather nice to see some fresh faces. And thank you for bringing the supplies with you. It's going to go to good use. I'm so excited to be studying these Triolic Waves and making so much progress. It's going to change the entire face of the Federation. It's very exciting. You all know about the Triolic Waves, of course.
I mean, it all goes over the top of my head.
Of course, we all know about that. But just in case, could you just let's just see how much you know about them, shall we, Commander? Just in case.
Okay. Well, he will quite happily kind of bore you senseless talking about Triolic Waves in great depth. He doesn't. He will. He's borderline obsessive about them, I would say. Definitely very, very enthusiastic. Are you just going to allow him to wax lyrical about them?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to glazed over.
Okay.
I'm going to make some intelligent comments back with it, and keep him interested. I'm a scientist as well, so.
Indeed, as the science officer, yes, you would definitely be able to engage him in detailed conversation about these waves of energy. So it's an unusual type of energy coming from this specific type of star. It's, first of all, the energy levels are much more consistent than you would expect. You're not getting the fluctuations. Also, now what's really interesting is this is a much cleaner form of energy radiation than one would expect. And the output levels of triolic energy is way beyond what you would expect from a star that is as young as this one is. It's absolutely fascinating. It almost... as a science officer, I'm going to get you to roll the difficulty 0 task for me.
Oh, good.
So
let's get some momentum going.
Yeah.
Build momentum.
Can we do this?
Give me an insight and science roll. Difficulty 0.
Oh. Now, Kaveen's insight is 10 and his science is 5. So that's a 15.
Excellent.
And I have a focuses in astrophysics.
Yes, astrophysics would play into this. Sorry, Amy, but now we're getting astrophysics.
Gav is just sitting from the corner going, no, this is so interesting.
What do we get? Oh, I get 2 18s. I have no idea what he's talking about.
I would have known this.
Yeah.
He's sitting there watching it from the holiday.
I go, is it anything like electricity?
He stops and looks for him. It can make things go.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Well, I love starships. Makes the starship go. I go and find more science stuff to look at.
At that point, the steward comes in and whispers something into his ear, and he looks up and says, "Oh, yes, show them in." And the steward goes off, comes back in, and there is perhaps one of the most stunningly attractive people that you have ever seen. An Orion green-skinned female, flanked by 2, I'm going to say men because orcs don't exist in this world. And they're definitely got a bodyguard look to them. And she sweeps into the room and says, "Commander, so sorry to intrude, but we were passing by and I thought it would be very nice to make your acquaintance. My name is Captain Tezhenko. Paja Tezhenko. May I join you for dinner?" And the commander, who stands up and please, and there is it's a big table, so yes, please, and what about your comrades? And she sort of looks over the shoulder and says, "Oh, never mind them. They're just here to look pretty," which they definitely don't. Just so you know. And yes, she sits at the table and we have some Starfleet officers here. Welcome to the area. I didn't see a starship nearby. She'll cock an eyebrow.
I don't know. I assume there's a way out at the moment.
Really? How far away would your starship be?
Why?
Just making polite conversation, dear.
Okay.
Perhaps one of these 2 handsome gentlemen can help me and while away the hours with some interesting conversation.
Rick has been paying very close attention to her as soon as she walked into the room, given your description of her.
Mm-hmm.
He's, well, of course. Lieutenant Rick Sweeper, engineer of Starfleet. If you want to spend a few hours getting to know each other and talking of interesting things, maybe we can come to some kind of an arrangement.
And what about you, my fine feline friend?
Oh, I'm just here for the just here to help this lot not bump into anything when they're digging around in space. Incidentally, as a Cajun, can I get any scent off her? Am I just getting like a pheromone battering here?
Do you know what? I'm very glad you asked that, because the next thing I would like all three of you to do, we're going to do an opposed roll here.
Oh,
What a shame you don't have any momentum.
Yeah, what would that happen?
Do I have a thing? I don't know. I don't think I do.
This is going to be a control and command roll. So this is basically, we're going to see how many successes you can get with this roll. Kaveen, you are going to reduce your number of successes by 1 automatically.
Oh. So we still roll 2 dice though?
Yes, you do. Yes.
Control and...
Keen sense of smell.
Oh, actually, with a control of 9 and a command of 2, I actually scored an 11 and a 7. So actually 2 successes.
2 for me as well.
1 success.
Okay. So 2 successes for Kaveen. Sorry, that was 2 successes after you've reduced it or before?
Before.
Okay, so you get 1 success. Rick, sorry, how many? 2 successes.
Double 12s.
And Helen got 1 success, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's what's happening. Helen, you have a stinking headache. It's very distracting. Rick, obviously she is an attractive woman.
Wonderful, yeah.
But no, you would react no differently than you would with any other attractive woman. Which may or may not change anything whatsoever. And Kaveen, your tail is flicking about and looping all of its own accord. You are very pleasantly disposed to her.
Excellent. Go and see if I can get a scratch, possibly.
The
dinner. With Starfleet.
Ed, or Kaveen, you wouldn't notice this, but Helen and Rick, you would notice the commander is utterly enamoured. The 2 male bodyguards, it's hard to say. She goes on, she says, now, I haven't come empty-handed. I have brought gifts that I would like to share with you, Commander, and perhaps some of which we can share at this very table. And she claps her hand, and one of the, I'm going to say bodyguards, who knows what they actually are, but they certainly seem like bodyguards, so that's what we'll call them. One of them goes off through the door. comes back a few moments later carrying a large box. She stands up, she takes out a smaller box which she hands over to the commanders and says, "Here is a gift of some Tholian silk for you." She takes out another box. Some Andorian spices. Perhaps your chef can use them to enhance your dishes. And here we have some Aldebaran whiskey. Perhaps all of us can share this together at the table. And she starts pouring it, unless anybody stops her, into the glasses in front of you all.
Not one to turn down a free whiskey.
Okay.
Again,
I mean, the whiskey is free, I imagine.
with my tail, I just grab a glass and sort of slide it more in her direction. I'm not sure how long the tail is, but yeah, it just push it.
So she, so are you all drinking the whiskey?
Oh, infrabelly, why not?
I mean, it might cure my headache. I don't know.
You, so that's yes and yes, and Rick.
Oh yeah.
Each take a savouring sip of this beautiful nectarous whiskey. It's like silk and honey washing over your senses up into your nasal passages. It's absolutely beautiful. It almost evaporates as it gets to the back of your tongue. It is an amazingly wonderful drink. As much perfume as it is taste. Perhaps you might have had Aldebaran whiskey before and knew what to expect. If not, it is really something else. Very, very nice. Helen, it does not cure your headache.
Damn it.
Kaveen, if anything, it's making her look even more attractive. In fact, the whiskey does have a green tint to it, which is reflecting in her eyes.
Oh.
And she sips it herself.
I'm going to purr ingratiatingly at her.
She does smile at that. Says, so tell me, what is Starfleet doing so far from home?
Exploring strange new worlds, seeking out new life, new civilizations, the usual.
The joys of exploration. And you say your starship is joining you shortly?
That's why we're here, waiting. Yes.
Forgive me, I'm not well versed with Starfleet ranks and insignias. I assume one of you two gentlemen is the captain?
Oh no. He's with the ship.
Ah. A shame. Oh, yes, of course you said that you were the engineer.
Yes, that's correct. About to be chief engineer.
Machines. Useful things.
Are you not chief engineer until you step on the ship?
I don't really have a ship to be chief engineer of currently.
And your role in this great exploration. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. She gestures to Kaveen.
Oh, I'm Kaveen, science officer to the ship, or science officer to all who need me, but I shall be chief science officer when our ship arrives.
Keen Kaveen.
So, certainly to get started on some scientific exploration.
Indeed. And almost as an afterthought, and with perhaps a slightly bored expression tone of entering her voice, she says, "And you, my dear? You the ship's yeoman?"
Ooh.
Yeah.
Helen reaches across the table and punches her in the face.
I mean, I've only had a little bit of whiskey, not that much of whiskey. Can I pour myself another whiskey? I'm doing that. I'm not asking permission.
You can, yeah, you can reach the bottle and you pour a whiskey.
Thank you for the drink.
She is looking at you with askance.
Okay, am I commander? Is that my rank? What am I? Yeah. Yeah.
Come
I
on.
mean, you have your character sheet in front of you, so
It doesn't say.
How did it not? Oh, crikey! How did it not say?
I don't think it says. Does it?
At the top where it says Starfleet personnel file, look just underneath that. On the top
Oh
right.
yeah, it does. It does. I was looking at the other stuff, so there we go. You know what? I'll put that in my thing. Sorry. Yes, I'm a commander. I'll have you know. I didn't know, but I know now.
Oh, she raises an eyebrow at that and says, "Oh, interesting."
Eyebrow raising,
So, of our Starfleet friends here, you are the most senior.
You doubt that?
Not at all. As a captain myself, I always appreciate women in positions of power.
Sure you do.
Rick says, "I'll drink to that."
Veen purrs.
She starts making small talk about perhaps some of the more interesting things around the area, markets where you can pick up exotic items. Some of them maybe Starfleet wouldn't approve of necessarily, but she doesn't seem abashed by that. And she even mentions Orion slave markets as well. It's totally unabashed by it. She doesn't seem intimidated. It's a bit like talking about your criminal activities in front of a policeman's ball, but she doesn't seem bothered in the slightest. But is there anything you would like to question her about or ask her about, or any topics of conversation you particularly like to raise?
Right, would we have jurisdiction if she's telling us that she's up to illegal stuff?
You are currently on the edge of Federation space. The places that she's talking about, you'd really have to check if it was in Federation space or not, but you suspect not. You think she's one of those people that kind of wouldn't do anything stupid, but might flaunt things in front of you. It's like, ha ha ha, look, I'm on this side of the road and you can't do anything. That sort of
I would
nature.
like to know what it is she's doing here. Like, she seems to have a good relationship with the commander, so what's she doing on the station?
Oh, I'm just, I was just passing by. This is the first time the commander and I have met, of course, as with yourselves. I have passed this station a few times on my, I believe the humans call it, doing the rounds, with the various territories that I have business interests in. But I thought I would drop in and introduce myself en route. It's always good to make new acquaintances, don't you think?
Oh, yes, of course. New friends can always be helpful, after all.
Could I
Quite.
ask her if she's if there's anything that she's noticed about the area, sort of referencing our commander friend's scientific interests? Has that affected her? Has that affected her her travels in any way?
Oh, the Triolic Waves. Oh, no,
That's the one. 218s.
We've we've known about those for a long time. It's one of those things. Scientists come and they take a lot of interest in them, and then they go away again, and scratching their heads and stroking their ponderous beards.
Elongated tails. Okay, Kaveen would say something along the lines of perhaps at some point, if you have any interesting sensor logs, perhaps I could take a look at them at some point.
I can assure you, you would not be interested in anything contained in the logs on my ship.
All the dodgy places she's been, like going through her browser history.
I couldn't possibly comment. Is there anything else you would like to?
Nope, nothing that I can think of.
Okay.
Well, the shapeless headache.
And indeed the headache. It doesn't get worse, but it's not going away.
She hasn't had any. She mentioned that the Orion slave market. She hasn't had any trouble with any pirate activity around here affecting her journeys, has she? I hope she's not come to any harm or any danger.
Is Kaveen asking her that question that directly? Like, have you had any trouble with pirates?
Yes, why not? Yes.
She finds the question hilarious.
Oh.
Like,
she's a pirate,
hilarious.
Yeah.
Simply says, no, they wouldn't dare.
Oh, she's a pirate queen then. Fine, that's even better. Noted.
Yeah. So the meal continued, and it's definitely it's a nice meal, especially compared to what you've been having on these long journey with the freighters. Yes, and eventually the commander stands up and says, "Well, this has been my goodness, such a pleasure meeting you, my dear." He goes to Captain, whose name I've forgotten. Oh no, hang on, Paja. Tajenko. Yes. He calls her Paja by this point. It's such a wonderful pleasure meeting you, Paja. And please, if there's anything I or any of my staff can do to help, don't hesitate to ask. You can stop by here anytime. We'd be very pleased to. But I really must get up to the operations center, and we've got some really fascinating telemetry coming in that I really need to review. So if you will excuse me, please, all of you make good use of the dining room. For the time being, for the rest of the evening, but yes, I really must take my leave of you for now. But the rest of you, Commander Alward, Lieutenants Kaveen and Sweeper, I look forward to seeing you again soon, probably tomorrow. Yes, and he makes an exit.
Now, do I have? Is there any use in me offering my services to him, especially as my current rolling is apparently I know about as much about science as someone who's read the Junior Book of Space.
What you do know about this station is that it is staffed by specialists. So while obviously as a science officer you have a good grounding in all the sciences, and Yeah, that was just a very unfortunate roll earlier.
Just not caught up on those particular journals yet.
Yeah, but you would know that in this specialised area, these are people who are likely to know far more than you. It's not to say that you couldn't be of any use, but...
They're going to tell me more than I can tell them, I think.
It'd be like a GP offering to assist a heart surgeon.
Well, I'll let him return to operations then.
And indeed, he's off and gone. And Paja is sat... what's the word? Langoriously? No, that's not a word. I'm making that one up. But she's sort of like languishing. That's it.
Lounging.
I like langoriously.
All of it, langoriously.
Good
yeah,
word.
We'll go with that one. Now, langoriously. It conjures the right image, I'm sure. And just sort of staring at you all, particularly you, Helen.
Oh, she's interested now, is she?
It isn't that she never had your interest as such. The boredom in the tone of voice was...
She was only interested when she found out my rank. Prior to that, she wouldn't tell her.
And she remains sitting there, looking at you all. And unless someone says something, it's going to start feeling awkward very soon.
How late is it? Is it too early to retire to bed?
Not at all. It's probably, in terms of Earth time, probably about 9 p.m.-ish.
Okay.
I think now it's starting to feel awkward where she's looking at you. Oh.
I think Rick is going to just start talking to her about the other places that she's visited, like other planets that she might have seen, any interesting things she's seen along the way, just trying to get some conversation going.
So you open up some dialogue about places she's been, and she just looks at you and smiles and says, "Was the silence getting too awkward?" Anyway,
No,
I
not at
think
all.
it's time
I'm merely
I retire
interested
to
in,
my ship. As you're saying this, she talks over you and stands up and starts to move towards the door.
Oh, you want to stay for another drink?
No. Enjoy the rest of the bottle.
Good whiskey.
I'm sure we will.
And you...
I grab for the bottle with a tail and share another and swoosh it out between me and Rick.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
She exits through the door with her bodyguards.
Well, she was charming.
Mm.
I
mean, definitely a pirate, but charming.
Yeah. So, or perhaps Kavina is a little bit taken with this. Like, oh, I'm not quite sure what she means. She seems like a perfectly charming lady captain in this area. I'm sure we could learn a lot about the area. If only I could remember what it was she was talking about.
I mean, for the record, not all Orions are pirates, or not all Orions are members of the Orion Syndicate. Officially, they are a society with a unified government, and officially, they're just a normal peoples who happen to have a large number of pirates.
Are they known for pirate?
Notably piratical tendencies.
Yeah, there is an entire criminal organization just of Orions called the Orion Syndicate. They are well known for it.
There was a reason I didn't like her. That's it.
Yeah. Although the Orion Syndicate does employ people of all races.
Yes.
Can we get
the clues in the name right there?
And did she mention? I completely forgot to ask her about her ship. Like what sort of ship it is.
Well, she's just left. If you want to go,
It's very unfortunate you forgot to ask her.
I know she's gone now. Just thought about. Is there any way we can access the sensor logs? Because if she's parked, I say parked, if she's stationed nearby, is there anything we can, any sort of access we can get to get a reading on her ship?
Why are you trying to find out where her ship is?
I might be interested in where she's going.
Oh, of course you would be.
Only from
I'm doing the scanning now.
The operations centre, certainly not from a dining room.
Okay, in that case, I'll swoosh out towards the operations centre and make some comments about. I want to find out where she's going. So if she's been going around, if she's been around this area a lot, let's see what sort of ship it is she's piloting around here.
Well, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to go down to Medbay and see if they can do something about this headache.
Okay, and Rick, what are you doing?
I'll go with Kaveen.
Okay, so there is only a single turbo lift in this station. The medical bay is down 2 decks. The operations centre is at the top. So if you're all sort of leaving the room and travelling together...
Do we do that awkward thing where we say goodbye as we leave the room, but then realise we've got to now walk to the turbo lift?
Like, oh, okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
Okay, this is awkward.
But which would you like to go to first?
Let's let the commander get to medical first of all and get that headache sorted.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the right thing to do.
Okay. You get in the turbo lift and you instructed to take you down to the medical centre. And the doors shut and suddenly the lights flicker. You're suddenly rocked by what seems to be a massive explosion. Yeah, wow, absolutely. And the turbo lift doesn't move. That's probably a good place for us to take a break.
Let's see if there's an access panel and an emergency hotline.
So we will be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. That's an order.
Hit it.
hailing frequencies are open.
And hailing frequencies are indeed back open as we return for our second half of this episode. How are we feeling so far?
I got some paracetamol.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, you haven't got to the medical bay.
No, I was thinking a joke.
Yeah, and what does Rick make of it all? I'm intrigued. Rick's been about a bit. He knows about Orion's, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he knows full well about Orion's. He was going to try his hand and see where that went, but she didn't seem very receptive. So he decided he knows when he's fighting a losing battle, so he stopped.
Right. Sure, it's not James T. Sweeper.
Well, you know, I figured since we're doing original series era, someone's got to be the...
And, well, I think you might have a fight on your hands with Keen Kaveen.
cat fight.
Well, I don't know. In cats are supposed to be loyal creatures. She's shot at us. I might might not be so keen now.
Saucer of milk for table 3.
I'll need more than a big... Make it a big one. I'll have a pint.
And,
Comes in bites.
In pints.
Oh, yes, very excited, aren't you, for this, Lord of the Rings?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Excellent. So you've got in this turbo lift, and it's you've heard an explosion, and it's rocked, and the lights have flickered on and off. That's never a good sign, is it?
But I'm
Not
glad
usually.
we're stuck in the lift with an engineer that should know what he's doing.
Yeah, I would like to try and see if I can get us moving again, if there's any way I can do that.
That seems like a great place to bring us back into it then. So, you say you would like to get the lift moving again. Is that correct?
Yes, if possible.
If we all jump up and down,
You know
Would
that.
that do it?
Go back down again.
don't we want to go downstairs
No.
to med bay though? Isn't that down?
But in a controlled way, not just plummeting.
But we'll get to float for a bit. It'll be fun.
Gravity is not our
Ideally.
friend.
Ideally, we want to go down slowly, not quickly.
I'll leave
I mean-
that to your expertise.
I mean, in space, you know, up, down, gravity, they're all abstract concepts anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, the only way is out.
Yeah. So, in what way would you like to get it moving again? To basically open the control panel and
Oh, yeah, stop.
presumably you want to
fiddling around with anything I can
identify
find.
why it's not moving, first of all. That would be the first
Yes.
one would guess. So, first thing I'm going to need then is going to be... it's going to be control and engineering.
Okay.
Difficulty 1.
Oh, okay. Da-da-da-da. Well, that is a Starfleet insignia and a
Yay!
7, so 3 successes.
3 successes, so you get 2. Do you have any focuses that might apply?
Not for this. No, not on the station. I'm good on the ship, but not on the station.
Okay, but you get 2 momentum. Very well done.
Nice.
Any talents that might give you extra information?
I don't think so on this. I've got one that will help with repairs, but
Ooh.
Okay. That might come in useful. later.
I've got one which will temporarily help with repairs, but not finding out problems.
If you
Okay.
have any problem with the security system, I can assist you with that.
Right.
That may come in handy.
So, you realise that the turbo lift is not moving because the EPS power system appears to be powerless, which is odd. Shouldn't be.
Yeah.
The backup systems, life support is clearly working because you'd know the lights are working, gravity nets are working, but yeah, there's no main power. In fact, yes, you can spend a momentum to get extra information if you like.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, delving into it a little bit further because it does seem a bit odd. Hang on, you have got some power in places, not in others. It would appear that the main reactor is completely offline and all you've got is backup emergency batteries at the moment. It is a fusion reactor. It is not online.
Do we know where that is in relation to where we are currently?
Engineering deck, which is 5 decks above you.
Okay, I'm thinking then up out the escape hatch and ladders up the turbo lift shaft.
Well, I may be able to. All I've got to do is focus the non-linear tetryon distortion generator, and then we should be able to get this thing moving at least to there.
Well, that saves a climb. That'd be great.
Yeah. Is there any way, Stu, that I can attempt to reroute power from something just to get the lift up to that level?
Unfortunately, I mean, I love a bit of technobabble, but unfortunately, no. You know that you would not be able to get adequate power from the backup batteries. It's going to be a
scratch
climb.
that because in that case the non-linear tetryon distortion generator is completely unfocused at the moment, and it's just not going to work.
It is not.
Looks like room for a climb. No.
Can I reach the commander via my thingy?
The communicator. Yes, it's not. It's not a badge. It's a flip communicator.
Oh yeah, because we're in this time frame.
We've
I
got,
don't have
we've
anything
got,
that flips. I do, but
we've
I
all
don't
got
have it on
Motorola
me.
Razor phones. Just flip it open.
I
have
had the Motorola StarTAC when it first came out for that very reason. And it was called a StarTAC because they weren't allowed to use Star Trek as a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to communicator.
Let's find out what's happening.
You flip open your communicator, you get no response.
Oh, is it not working at all, or just no response from him?
There is nothing. You're getting static.
This is not good. Where do we go?
We should probably head to engineering, see if we can get.
See
if we can be of any assistance.
See what's happened. See if we can get power back online. It might be a clue as to what hit it. Because if something hit it solidly in the reactor.
Let's go.
Yeah, you don't want to hit two reactors, mate.
Kicked him right at the reactors.
Now, in order to access the turbo lift shaft, you would have to basically exit the turbo lift through the doors, then into an access panel at the side, and get in that way. You can't get out through the top. It's not like there's a hatch at the top of it or anything like that. So, the doors aren't opening though.
There's always doors.
Can we try to force them?
Always doors.
You could try to force them.
Or I know I can't reroute power to move the elevator, but can I do it to open the doors?
Oh, now let's see. Yeah, give me a control and engineering difficulty 2.
Okay, now I have a thing here because I have the jury rig talent. Whenever you attempt an engineering task to perform repairs, you may reduce the difficulty by 2 to a minimum of 0. If you do this, the repairs are only temporary and will last only a single scene. So I'm assuming this is classed as a repair to get the doors online.
It's not really a repair because it's not like the mechanism opening the doors is faulty.
Yeah,
You want to
that's fair.
divert power from somewhere else where it doesn't normally go.
That's fair.
Sounds like
So,
jury rigging.
It is jury rigging. That's the weird thing. But you're not jury rigging a repair. You're jury rigging a rerouting of power.
Mm.
You said this was control and engineering, right?
Control and engineering. Yes. You do have a momentum available to you if you wanted to use it.
I already rolled, so I'm not going to use that. However, I do have a focus. It's in Starship power systems, but could this also apply on the base since I'm messing with power systems?
I'm going to say yes, because why would the power systems on Federation, star bases or scientific bases be different? Yeah, yes. I'm going to say that applies.
Okay. Well, in that case, I got 3 successes.
Excellent.
3
So
successes.
you get a momentum back. And you fizz bang, a few sparks fly, and the doors go.
Got it.
And you can get out. This gives you easy access if you want to the turbo lift shaft.
Okay, I'll volunteer to go first then with my tail ability. That might help with the climbing.
Okay, so Kaveen up front.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll bring up the rear.
With the first officer bravely in the middle. Okay. You
He's
start climbing. Everyone. Now, do you know what? Yeah, you can climb. You can all climb your Starfleet. God damn it! And it's only 5 decks. It's not too far. And yet you get up. You reach the doors to the engineering deck, which do not open. The doors are warm.
Oh. Now,
Generally
They're
a
not
bad
hot.
sign.
They're not hot. They're warm.
Now, as I'm clinging on here, can I, if I have access to my tricorder, can I scan the doors with using my tail to activate the tricorder?
Yes, you can. Give me now, as you are holding on to a ladder. I'm going to make this a daring, but daring and engineering roll from you.
Oh, okay. Daring is 4. Sorry, daring is 10. Engineering is 4.
Mm.
And I do have a focus in tricorders. Oh,
Okay.
I got a 6. I got a 16, and I got a 1.
Yay!
Okay. I didn't give you a difficulty, did I? It is difficulty 1, so you do get a momentum. And yeah, what are you looking for specifically?
The source of the heat. Why is it warm? We're still sort of scanning for.
It's warm because there has been an explosion on the other side of it. You're not picking up. You're not picking up any lethal radiation or anything of that nature. It's an explosion that's basically been and gone. There are higher than normal background levels of radiation, but yeah.
Okay. If I use can I use my science officer ability that when I succeed at a task assisted by a computer or using a tricorder, I can generate a bonus momentum, which can only be used now on the obtain information momentum.
Okay. Does it specify or a tricorder, assisted by a tricorder?
Yes. Ship's computer sensors or tricorder.
Right. In that case, because Now, I'll have to look into that one because I don't know if assisted by means that there's a role added to that. Because like when you're assisted by the ship, like for scanning or whatever.
Yes, it's just when you succeed at a task where you're assisted
where you're
by
using one.
or using a tricorder.
Okay, yes, absolutely. The fusion reactor appears to have exploded.
Oh, okay. So that is why it's hot.
Oh dear, that's not good.
But I can also tell you, it does appear it would be safe to go in.
Okay, so I'll pass that information down the ladder to the commander, who's somewhere between my feet.
Well, I can't get anyone on comms, and I can't see anybody else around here, so I think it's on us to get something sorted. So can we see if we can get in there, and maybe Rick, you can do something when we're in. This is your forte, isn't it?
I mean, I'm a good engineer, but if it's exploded, there's not much I can do. But we can see.
You can help us through
Do you
the
not
door.
keep a spare fusion reactor in your back pocket?
Oh yeah,
Be prepared for all scenarios in Starfleet.
I've got
Lieutenant.
dozens of them.
It's
Sorted.
back of holding.
Yeah, let's get these doors open.
Okay, how would you like to open the doors?
Is there a button I can push? Are they not working?
They're just not working.
Mm.
It's the same issue you had getting out of the turbo lift.
I could try and monkey with them, or we could just try and force it.
Mm.
If there's a space where we can all like get up there to try and pull them open, or like we can, because currently I'm at the bottom, so it could be difficult for me to climb over everyone else.
Well,
to get to it.
with Kavine's 2 hands and a tail, and like maybe I could get a hand up there, maybe we could try and force it.
I'm going to say 2 of you can get close enough to do it, but not 3.
Mm. I have a go. I can have a go.
So one person
go
needs
with
to be
me.
leading and the other person assisting. So who's leading?
Go on, I'll do it.
Okay. To force the door is a difficulty 2 task. And we need, again, because you're hanging on a ladder doing this. Oh, no, it would be fit. Sorry. No, forget I said that. Fitness and security.
Mm.
That's not a good one for me.
I'm
No.
pretty good at that.
Kavine?
If we can rearrange, I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah. Do you think we could?
No, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, you can. I mean, it's wide enough that you can pass each other and, swap places if needs be.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Then yeah, I will assist. So it's fitness and security, right?
Yeah. Oh, I got a 2 and a 5.
And another success for me with a 7.
Yeah, get another momentum back. You're on 4 momentum. As indeed you managed to wrestle the doors open. Smoke billows out. You see a number of people lying down.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God, Jimmy's
3
dead.
people lying down.
Okay.
Okay. Do we recognise the people in question? Is the station commander one of them?
Yeah. Are
Station
these
commander
doors
is
gonna?
not one of them.
Are these doors gonna stay open now? We've pulled them open.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna run straight in and check on these people and see if they are alive. With my rudimentary nomad.
They're dead.
Max. This is not good.
It would appear that the fusion reactor. Let me make sure I say this. What has happened? The fusion reactor has had massive. No, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself there. EPS reactors around the fusion reactor have exploded, and that is what has taken people out.
A century into the future, Ral looks wryly at this and thinks, well, look at that. That Commander Alward lost 3 people in the reactor. I only lost 1.
It's not my starship. Right. So is it like is there a big hole in the side of the ship, or does it look like an internal explosion?
No, this all appears to be internal.
So it's, things have sort of gone off.
Okay.
Yes.
Rick, can you diagnose what happened now we're here?
I can take a look.
Actually, can I?
Start poking around.
Okay, can I actually get my tricorder out and see if I can scan for any sort of explosive residue and see if it goes, see if anything's been, if they've gone off bang as a result of being hit, or if they've gone off bang as a result of someone leaving something there that goes bang.
Okay, so we've got 2 things going on here. Rick is investigating what has happened. And Kaveen has a theory. Maybe there's foul play.
Something smells. I'm not talking about the contents of my litter tray.
Let's address Kaveen first of all. Give me a. I'm going to make this insight and science.
Oh, great. Insight is 10, science is 5. I got a 4 and a 2.
Nice.
4 and a 2. Nice. You get another momentum because it was difficulty 1. Your tricorder picks up no explosive no bomb parts or bomb elements.
Yes, no known or recognisable explosive components.
I mean, obviously there's explosive components because it's exploded. But nothing out of place.
So from that, I'm going to use my sciencey-ness and say, can from that I confirm that this is this is an explosion. Yeah, this is not an explosion that has been caused by foul play.
Well, it will be impossible to determine that this cause without knowing the root cause of it. But you can determine that the EPS with your gaining information thing. You know that the EPS conduits have exploded as a result with a problem in the fusion reactor.
Right. I'll communicate that to the engineer then and say, that's where the problem has originated.
Who is currently kicking the tires on the fusion reactor. So Rick, give me an insight and engineering. I'll say difficulty 2 on this one.
Okay. Insight and engineering. Still pretty good. Does this still count under power systems?
Oh, yes, very much so. And you do have lots of momentum, just as a reminder.
Yeah. I think I will use one of those, actually.
Yeah, do it.
Mm-hmm. Glad to use.
It's important we get this one.
Yeah. So it's insight and engineering. So base 14. So that is 3 successes on the die. And the focus is if it's under the discipline, right? Not the attribute. So it's under my engineering score.
Yes. Yeah. Equal to or less.
Yeah. Okay. So another one from the focus. So 4 successes.
So you get 2 momentum. You're at max momentum. So what has happened? The fusion reactor, whilst it initially looked like the fusion reactor might have exploded, the fusion reactor has actually it's failed and it has ruptured. However, that has caused massive amounts of feedback, which have in turn caused the EPS conduits to explode.
Oh. Is that still going on, or has it stopped now? Was it just like a quick burst which exploded the EPS conduits, or is it still like surging?
No, something like that. I mean, the fusion reactor is now dead. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Right. Okay. While that's happening, can I go to a console and see if I can? There should be a record of who's been in engineering up to now, right? That I'd be able to access.
You wouldn't have access to it. No, you'd have to sort of hack into it.
Would I be able to use my focus in Starbase security system?
Starfleet security systems.
I've got Starship Starbase security system.
Very nice.
This is not a
I
starship.
don't have computers.
This is not a starbase. This is not a Starfleet facility. It's a civilian one. I'm going to say on this occasion, and I'm going to be quite harsh on it. I'm going to say no.
Well, in that case, while you two have been doing that, I've been sitting there pressing buttons, coming to no conclusion whatsoever.
You can still take a roll. You can give me a control and security.
Use some momentum as well.
Difficulty 3.
All right, I'll take a momentum.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get under 15. No. So I got a 4, and I got a 7, and I got a 10. So 3.
Nice.
Excellent. So yeah, you managed to hack your way into the system.
Lovely.
And you're looking for access logs, is that correct?
Yes, I want to see who was coming in here prior to the explosion, if anyone came in just before, or the last people that were here.
But the last people that came in are lying on the floor. Nobody else came in just beforehand.
I'll pass that information around. We need to be able to talk to someone who is in charge here. Really. Can't get anyone on the communicator. So
give me an insight and command roll difficulty 1.
10, 13. 1 success.
Excellent. You believe that from the current console you can access a visual of the operations center. Well, indeed, of any part of the internal station.
Oh, so I can just have a look at the CCTV and flick around.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. Check in at the bridge first.
Okay.
Is it bridge or like some
it's
command room?
operations center. Ops.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do so. It looks not dissimilar to the state of engineering, where you've got various EPS conduits have exploded, and you can see a number of people appear to be lying down. One of which is the commander.
No.
Everyone's dead.
He's carked it.
Can we search for life signs? How many people are still alive on the station?
That would mean accessing scanners. That would be... what we're going to say. A control and security difficulty 2.
For that, I got 1 success.
Oh no.
Fizzle.
Okay, you do manage. So there's succeeding at cost. So you do access the internal sensors for a short while, and you can identify that you appear to be the only people living on the station.
Oh, good.
Before the whole system shuts down.
Yeah. Another creepy abandoned station with us on it, but for the first time.
Orders,
There
Commander.
are 3 people on board. There have always been 4 people on board.
5.
No, not good. No.
I knew this.
Okay, right.
I hate space stations that Stu controls.
Yeah, this is not good. Okay, so we have gone to engineering. We found the problem. We haven't found out how it's happened, but we know what's happened. We've seen the same thing happen elsewhere through the ship, and everybody else is dead apart from us. So the next course of action would be, I mean, can we get like a distress signal out to someone else? Do we know where the next closest civilization would be? Is there like a planet nearby?
There's definitely a ship nearby with someone on it.
Yeah. Who would that be? Our
If
ship.
you want to access the communications array, you believe the only place to do that will be from the operations. Rick, though, give me an insight and engineering roll difficulty 2.
I'm going to take a momentum for this.
Okay.
Yes.
Insight. Oh, yeah. That is 2 successes.
Okay, excellent. You don't know why the reactor failed. It occurs to you. It's odd that it should have failed. It shouldn't have failed.
Yeah.
There's no obvious sign of why it failed.
Is there anywhere... How would I go about getting more information on that? I can try and work out.
Operations room might have.
Sensor logs. Maybe.
So, ops.
That would seem to be
everything. Most of that we could. I think that this room is kind of we've got everything we can get from here. I think operations will give us access to some more clues to the mystery here.
Get access to more systems. Get a message off the ship. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, if the Atlantis is still inbound, at least get a signal to it, and then maybe see if there's anyone closer to help.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a certain Orion ship close by.
Not too far away.
in case I didn't mention this earlier, Helen, your headache's gone.
Good. I hadn't noticed with all the kerfuffle.
Well, no, but it just occurs to you now. Your headache's not there.
At least we don't have to go to bed, though. The operations
We do
room.
have a climb ahead of us, though.
Oh, is it all the way up at the top?
Am I going first again?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's another 3 decks up.
Oh, not too bad then.
That's only about 3 rounds of Frere Jacques. We'll be fine.
Oh no.
It's yeah, I mean it's not a big outpost this at all.
Unless someone wants to
yes,
join in a quick chorus of the Laughing Vulcan and his dog.
And yes, you can get yourself into the turbo lift and start climbing your way up. And indeed, you get to the door to ops. Once again, it is warm. Perhaps not as warm as engineering was.
Okay, just as a precautionary command, that I'm going to just tricord at the door and check for any radiation or anything unusual there, or anything hazardous.
I mean, having scanned engineering, you've kind of got an idea of what you're looking
You're
for.
just going for the same
it
stuff.
will hand wave rolling for that. Same thing. Number of explosions have caused it to be warm. You think there might be a small fire going off. In fact, thinking back to when you saw it on the CCTV, for want of a better term, there was a small fire in the corner of one, in the corner of the room.
Shall we
All right.
try and
Pulling
force
the
these
door
doors
open
again?
Yeah.
Okay, it's difficulty 2 again. What did we say was fitness and security?
Yeah.
2 successes from me.
And security 1 from me, just.
Yep. Okay, you get a momentum
Just
back.
barely
You're up to
squeaked by on
5.
Yeah.
As the doors creak and grind open. And yes, you have access to ops. You do see, seems to be the rest of the station personnel.
Oh no.
All the other scientists.
So they've been taken out by like is it? Am I getting this right? That basically the EPS system has blown out as a result of the reactor failing, which is basically that's all throughout the facility. So it's basically taken out everyone because everything's gone off in each section, each room, each module has basically blown out.
That assumption would meet with what you've seen so far, because obviously you've only seen the dining room, engineering, and ops now. But yes, that would fit with what you've seen.
Right. Well, with Commander's permission, can we clear some of the bodies away and see if we can find a communications console first of all?
Yeah, I'll get on to communication, see if we can reach the ship.
Okay. The communications console is the EPS conduit has blown out from it. It will need repair.
Hey, I can do that.
Just
Part of the repair
Yeah.
will be rerouting power from elsewhere.
All right.
So, to gauge your intention, first of all, there are limited. So the idea of these backup batteries is, for one thing, they don't last forever. They are solar, so it does sort of generate electricity and store it, but it doesn't last forever. And because they're only very limited, they only power certain things. Lighting is one. Life support, gravity. That's pretty much it. So environmental controls as part of life support. But that's essentially it.
Is there any way we can turn off all of those things to any non-essential? So any quarters, any rooms that we're not going to go in? Since we know there's no one alive on the station, it's not going to hurt anyone if we just turn off life support in certain rooms or turn off lights in certain rooms to save power.
Yeah, to turn life support down to emergency levels.
Yeah,
it's kind of at emergency levels to start with, but yes, you absolutely can. Not so much by room, but by deck. So you can say the living quarters deck you can remove power from, or the mess hall deck, or
I'm thinking we only the non-living quarters. I'm thinking we want obviously ops, possibly the med bay, and anywhere that the ship is going to dock. So on whatever level the dock is, because we'll want to go that way. And then I think anything else we can turn off.
Yeah, as long as we're sure that everyone is dead
level
in these areas.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So we'll do
you
that,
don't
and then
have to
start
remove
pulling
life
power
support.
in.
You can transfer lights alone. You can get power from those. So, if if, for example, anyone was trapped in an area and you just weren't aware, they'd end up in the dark, but, you know, they'd still have a...
It's
Just give them
probably a
a good-
safer option.
Yeah, well,
It's probably a safer option. Yeah,
inadvertently
just turn the lights
killing-
off. We'll turn the lights off rather than turning the oxygen off. I think that might work better.
That's it.
All right, and then I will attempt to reroute the power to the comms array.
Communications. So, this is going to be a two-part roll. The first part is going to be repairing the system. The second part is going to be rerouting power to it. So,
Okay.
first of all, difficulty 3, because there's a lot of damage there. Let's have a control and engineering roll.
Before I do this, I'll say, Commander, do we want this thing to be working long term? Because I can do something that'll make it work short term, but it's going to fry it for long term.
I don't think anyone's going to mind if you don't repair it fully. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to use my jury rig talent on this repair.
Okay.
So
Are you
that
spending a momentum?
yes, I am also going to spend a momentum.
Yeah.
So this reduces the difficulty by 2, so it's only difficulty 1. However, the repair is only temporary and will only last a single scene.
Okay.
So yeah, and then I can attempt to repair it afterwards, but the difficulty increases by 1 to repair it after this has been done.
Right.
All right. Oh my God, that is dreadful.
Oh.
What am I rolling?
Well, you now
What was I rolling?
want one success, don't you?
What was I rolling? So I might not have one
Control
success.
and engineering.
I do just have one success.
You didn't roll your 20 today, did you?
Thank goodness that was a bodge job.
Right.
14, 17, 19. I'll
Oof.
die then.
That
was really
lucky
bad.
that wasn't
Hello.
a 20.
And it was the momentum roll that got me the successful roll.
But you,
And
in all fairness, you did warn me, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on the commander for saying you could. Yeah.
and you are literally holding down one part of it with your knee because you think that'll hold it in place while you try
Whatever you're gonna
and get some power
cables
from
through his ears.
elsewhere.
Sort of engineer doesn't carry around duct tape.
So where did you say you're taking power from?
We'll take power from the habitation ring, or habitation deck. Sorry, been watching Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just take the lights off, and any other non-essential deck as well. Basically.
Okay. No problem.
He activated the lift music.
I'm gonna.
Ooh, yeah.
This would normally be control and engineering. I'm gonna actually make it daring and engineering because of the state of the repair that you're currently in. I'm going to spend
fine,
threat to do that. I'm not being completely mean.
I'm also pretty good at daring, so
yeah, this is going to be a difficulty 2.
okay, yeah.
Have a momentum, but don't fry yourself trying this.
And would this count under my power systems focus?
Yes, it would. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, because I also have a focus. I also have a focus in winging it, which I think also.
Is that legit focus? Can you have a focus in winging it?
Yeah,
I love it.
it's on my
great.
character sheet.
Yay.
All right, so daring and engineering. So target 15. 3 successes because of my focus.
Excellent. So you get one of your momentums back. As indeed you manage to get the communication system flickering to life as you're holding down part of the mechanism with your knee, and another part with the palm of your hand.
I've got my tongue stuck in a socket currently. Commander, whatever you're going to do it quickly.
I'll see if I can reach the ship. Press the buttons.
Okay, you're going to attempt to help specifically the Atlantis. Is that correct?
I guess I could have
I would do
wider,
a broad.
yeah,
Broad distress call.
distress signal. SOS.
Okay, if you're doing a broad distress, normally this would be a difficulty 0, but I'm actually going to make it a difficulty 1. Control and engineering. Roll. You're going to be assisted by the station.
Are we?
You are. Communications and engineering. So, sorry, computers and engineering. No.
Okay.
No, communications and engineering. Get it right. Yeah. So, it's 9 for the station. Is the target for the station. And what did I say?
Control and engineering, I think.
Control and engineering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed, do you want to roll for the station?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been doing a lot of rolling, so I'll let you take this one.
Thank you very much. Here we go.
Come on, shit. Give me a hand.
17.
No, don't leave it all to
Okay.
me.
Yes. Unsurprisingly, the station is not very helpful.
I rolled a double 19.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's fried. Not
Rick is currently
working.
Okay.
Rick is under the desk saying, "How's it going? You got it working, right?"
Oh, I don't know.
On the way.
Move to the left a little bit.
You're obviously unfamiliar with this particular type of system.
Definitely.
It's not doing very good. You can make another attempt. The difficulty will be increased by 1.
Can I try? And,
No.
Can I try and do
No,
it?
actually.
If it's engineering.
I'm going to say you're holding the thing together at the moment, so no.
You're busy. You
That's
don't have a
fair.
tail
I'll allow
free.
Actually, no, I'm going to keep it as difficulty 1, but this time it's daring and engineering, assisted
All
by
right, that
the
suits me
station.
better. That gives me an extra point.
I'm going to increase the difficulty range, though, to 19 and 20. So if you roll a 19 or 20, that's a complication. Sorry, complication range.
That's okay, because I rolled double 4s this time.
Nice.
Okay.
Much like it.
What did this
What
ship
did the
get? Ed, do you want to roll a ship?
13.
No.
13 is a failure, but you do get 1 momentum back at least as
Yay.
you transmit your general distress call
I'm generally distressed.
out into the
Someone
void.
help.
And shortly after, you get a response. You get a
Do we?
response from a ship. It's an initial response, a hail coming in from NCC 2801 USS Atlantis, and that's where we leave it for this evening.
We're saved!
I know.
Huzzah.
Are we? We've just got notification. We got a message. That could mean anything.
We've absolutely broken the station. It's in bits. In our defense,
Everything's under control, Captain.
we were left half supervised.
I would say that you're fully supervised.
And in our further defense, it's not a Federation out. It's not a Starfleet station.
Yeah.
So
Not our problem.
Not our monkeys, not our problem.
Any theories out of curiosity?
I mean, the Orion woman did it.
I think it's something to do with the trionic radiation or the trionic waves.
It could be that, yeah.
If that's caused some sort of, it's the station's been too close, too fit, because it was just after the commander went to go and deal with some sort of new data that was coming in. Whether or not that new data was a massive trionic wave heading towards the station.
I'll let cleverer people than me figure that out. I don't know.
Security's job's to punch and shoot things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at that. Excellent. Well, thank you all ever so much. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to join us in a fortnight's time when we get to meet the captain, hopefully, of the Atlantis as well.
Yeah.
See what he has to say about this. Indeed. Looking forward to that. So yeah, that's it from us. In the meantime, peace and long life. Live long and prosper. Bye.
Live long and prosper.